Hello, Gemini. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Gemini is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It doesn't cost you anything. It's totally free. All right. And if there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Okay. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Gemini, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we begin with the Hierophant card. Very interesting. Very strong energy. I feel that there is, that you are not only receiving a lot of guidance in life, but you're kind of acting as a guide for others in some way. Okay, let's put it into some context. Maybe you're a teacher, maybe you work in some sort of a technical field, and we've got that devil energy too. This is interesting. Okay, that now it's getting a little crazy. Now we got three major arcana right at the beginning with the Luster Strength card, the Devil, and the Hierophant, and the Wheel of Fortune. And we've got a Seven of Pentacles and an Ace of Cups. Well, see, there had to be a little bit of darkness here. There had to be a little bit of challenge just so that we can grow into all of this beautiful energy here. All right, so the Seven of Pentacles is a very welcome sight. It shows that there is tension, there is growth and movement here. Movement with a Knight of Wands as well. Movement out of something, it seems like. There is the Lover's card. That is your power card. We're going to ring the bell. This is the Lovers. This is your patron card. Okay, this is the card that rules the sign of Gemini. And then we've got a wonderful Nine of Pentacles at the end. This is really nice. I don't think I've ever seen like this many major arcana energies, and especially this much really strong energy, right? The Knight of Wands and a Nine of Pentacles, not to mention that Ace. Let's select a mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is one random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. And this is going to go right here. Alien Simon Mork Ripley right there on top. Now, we're not going to look at that card until the very end, all right? But it will tie everything together. And it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during the reading you feel like you know what that card is, I want you to put your prediction in the comments below. Let's do it together. Let's make it a group exercise in intuition, okay? All right, let's take a look around the room again. We've got major, 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 major. We've got some fire. We've got some water. We've got some air. And we definitely have our earth. Okay, so first thing I see that we're doing is we're getting out of a condition of being stuck or fixed, being caged in by something. This could be our beliefs. It could be our values. It could be our perception. It could be just the way we're looking at things, the attitudes that we hold on to, the aspects of our personality that we are just being very rigid with and don't want to transcend. Okay? So this is the card in the environment. All right, this is the card of timing. It's the card of relationships. So I think we need a new relationship with ourselves, with our environment, because maybe right now you're thinking everything is kind of lackluster, right? With that Seven of Pentacles there, maybe there hasn't been the progress that you've been wanting. Well, I think we need to change our point of view a little bit, right? And of course, at the end, this Seven of Pentacles goes to a Nine of Pentacles. So this is a very strong indication that things are going to pick up. Business is going to start doing better. Your finances are going to improve. Your health is going to improve. Whatever this kind of real world situation is for you. Could be a relationship. We do have, the Lover's card there, which might mean something else in this case. I feel like this is a reading about life. It's not a love reading. It's not a career reading, right? It's not a spiritual reading. It's all of these together. right? It's a life reading. That's what we do here. Okay. But let's start with the Hierophant. Now, it could be that there is a strong Taurus influence in your life. Maybe your partner, business partner, friend, family member, lover, parent, right? Mentor, teacher. It could be, for some of you, there's a strong Taurus person. I'm getting a V name for some reason, too. I'm getting the V sound, maybe a first or last initial. But I think there's also this idea of learning to transcend what is fixed. Okay? There comes a point where we need to go beyond the textbook, Go beyond the blueprint. The map can only take you so far. The blueprint can only take us so far. So seeing this card and then also seeing the devil energy, also seeing the lover's card, but then the lust or strength card. I feel like those very active, creative, vital cards are kind of transcending this limited Hierophant. Okay? So I think that you've learned all you're going to learn in something, and it's time to go out and do it. It's time to kind of push past. It's when the apprentice kind of transcends the master, right? When you become the master, that's when it's okay to break the rules, right? That's when it's okay to kind of go outside of the boundaries of things. And the Hierophant really is about a kind of an institutionalized wisdom. It's a gatekeeper. It's saying this is the way we do things, this is what you need to know, and nothing more. This is kind of a card that sticks to the rules. Now, the Emperor might be the card that enforces the rules. We don't have an Emperor here, thankfully. We do have some Emperor-style energy. This is an Aries kind of energy with the double fire here. Okay, so we do need to talk about that. But this seems to be the rule maker, not the rule enforcer. And it really feels as if there is some outside-of-the-box thinking that needs to happen here in order to take that 7 of Pentacles to a 9 of Pentacles and get you your Ace of Cups, right? Get you your Ace of Cups. And the devil really is the right kind of opposition. It's the right kind of challenge that will get you thinking outside of the box. Because when we encounter problems, and I think that right now the problem is this darn old 7 of Pentacles. Things are just not going the way you want them to. But rather than giving up, I think you're looking to, again, think outside the box, push the boundaries here, bend some of the rules, The work that you're doing is not insignificant. And I think that's part of the idea here, especially when we've got the Ace of Cups. Just because you can't see the visible progress right now doesn't mean that the work has stopped. Doesn't mean that the progress has stopped. When maybe you're on a spiritual path and you've kind of fallen out of the routine of doing your spiritual work, right? Your rituals, your prayers, your meditations, your devotions, your offerings, these sorts of things. Maybe you've fallen out of the routine of that, right? Doesn't mean that the work has ceased. It means that maybe it has gone a little bit underground, a little bit unconscious. And that really brings up this lust or strength card, right? Because this is the magic, this is the passion, this is the lust for life. This is the work taking place underneath the surface. Okay? So even though we may have fallen out of our routine and our habit of practice, the work is still going on. You're still making progress, but it might be on a more unconscious level. Now, this might not have a spiritual focus for you. This could be something primarily financial, work-related, career-related. But even for those of you who are outside of the kind of career window, right? Maybe you're in retirement, maybe you're still in school, whatever it is. This doesn't have to be employment, okay? Because what I also see here is that if you are, let's say you are retired, right? This 7 of Pentacles would say that you're kind of feeling without a purpose, kind of feeling as if what you do doesn't matter, that you're not useful anymore, right? Because this is activity that isn't amounting to much, or that there's no thing that you're producing that will prove your value to other people, right? That is some of the rigid institutionalism that we have to get out of. Work is not just about what product you make that you can then show somebody else, right? We are the process of work. We're not the product of our work, right? And really that suggests the Ace of Cups here in the future position, because what you're offering may not be exactly a finished product, right? Maybe you're not in the workforce anymore. Maybe what you're doing is a little bit more subtle, a little bit more underground. And so it doesn't look on the surface as if anything's growing, right? There's not this outward sign of abundance where people could say, oh yeah, that's, a valuable thing. It's something more subtle. This is an Ace of Cups. It's not an Ace of Pentacles, right? So what you're giving to the world, while we do want it to be outwardly successful, right? So whether you're in school, if you're in the workforce, if you're retired, it doesn't matter. You're looking for the inner connection, the Ace of Cups, the inner connection with what you're doing, that I think will then also assist you in, the Nine of Pentacles, right? Will assist you in getting something tangible resulting from your efforts. Okay? So I think it really is about connecting with what is underneath the surface here. Going beyond the learning, the expectation, the rules, beyond the blueprint, beyond the textbook, right? Beyond the map. And forging ahead, again, with that devil energy. The devil energy is always ready to transcend boundaries, right? The devil energy says, well, if I can't go north, south, east, or west, I'm going to go straight up, or I'm going to dig underneath. In this case, maybe we're digging underneath to get to this lust or strength card. The goat will always find a way out of the pen, and this is that energy that breaks boundaries. This is the kind of a volcano energy, right? It's the crust of the earth trying to contain all of this fire and all of this magma. But the devil energy, that cardinal earth, the Capricorn energy, right, bursts forth. So things can't contain you. And I think what is containing you is just this idea that that your efforts have to result always, in every case, into something tangible, right? Or that because you haven't produced anything right now, that somehow your work is not full of meaning. But the Ace of Cups suggests otherwise, that this is recognizing the meaning of what you're doing, right? Because you're still working. And the Seven of Pentacles may say, I want to give up. I'm not seeing anything growing. I want to quit, but you're not quitting, right? You're not quitting, you're transcending. A lot of major arcana cards here. This is really nice. It's very rare that we get this kind of straightforward major arcana and then just some very straightforward minor cards too, right? Wheel of Fortune in the background. I mean, look at that. You have spirit behind you. You have the momentum of the entire universe. And this is kind of like that karma. This is that energy that just says, don't stop doing what you're doing. You're not doing anything wrong. It doesn't mean that you're failing just because things haven't produced their fruit yet, right? You have to be the patient gardener of your life. Yeah. And we have to get out of this idea that we have to stay in these boundaries of what we've learned, of what we've been told, of what we've been taught. This is the culture, this is history, this is tradition, this is institution, right? Maybe there's a little bit of change necessary here, right? Kind of a crossing the threshold of pushing the boundaries, pushing the envelope kind of thing, right? Bending the rules, as it were. Yeah. Because it is by doing that, and there is that tension with that devil energy. There's tension between these two. This is institution, and this is really just almost anarchy, okay? I'm not advocating that. But it is These two are opposed to each other. So this tension causes an expansion of consciousness because you're forced to think in new ways. You're forced to innovate, right? And it would probably be nice if we could just kind of go backwards, regress a little bit, and just kind of stay on the wheel and just trust in the universe. It's kind of a closing down of consciousness, right? Flowing backwards into the unconscious, where everything is just kind of taken care of. Everything happens, right? There's no multitude of decisions, right? There are no rules, there are no boundaries, because nobody's trying to cross those boundaries. Things just happen, things just flow according to plan, right? But that's not the case. That's not the case because we have slowly gained this idea that I don't have to do the same thing. I don't have to just kind of go with the flow of the universe all the time. We can make our own decisions. Right? Now there's not just one straight path to the goal. Now it's many paths. Now this road has split into 20 different paths, you know. So we have to think outside of the box a little bit. And I think the Hierophant is this way that we have done the same thing over and over again. And it's kind of like we've been getting the same result, but then we just keep doing the same thing over and over again. We keep getting the same result. Something has to change there, right? Obviously it's working because what you're doing is getting the same result. So it's an effective path. But is this what we want it to result in, right? So we've got the devil energy, and the devil energy is really important. It's what is going to get us out of this mode of thinking, of this box that we're in. And we've got that luster strength card underneath. You're ready. This is the magma underneath the crust of the earth. And it's going to be, it's using this devil energy to burst forth, and we can kind of look at this Hierophant as the crust, right? This is the magma, and then this is the process in between, okay? Bursting forth. Being creative, following your intuition a little bit, right? Following this idea that there are many options and many different outcomes. So the intuition is kind of like your perception of all of the possibilities here, right? It's not very intuitive to say, okay, if I follow this plan, I'm going to arrive here. That seems to be a very fixed and established knowledge. Okay, we're looking to transcend that, right? So when you are thinking of doing something differently, when changing course, when pivoting, when getting out of that cage and changing your point of view, changing your perspective, you have to intuit what the results of that path are going to be before you make a decision, you know? The Ace of Cups, I want to go back to that because this is the Holy Grail. This is what will heal the land. Right? Will bring beauty and abundance and joy and bliss to the realm. And this is you following that path with heart, following what your purpose feels like, right? And again, that kind of has that intuitive aspect where you have to explore mentally, emotionally, intuitively the different paths and understand where that might lead you, right? Not in an intellectual way, right? But in that intuitive way. What are all the possibilities of each path that you're considering to get outside of the box, right? And the Ace of Cups is really that source of all joy and bliss and happiness. This is your purpose. And this is the quest that we are all on to find our Holy Grail, right? And really, it feels like this is your only way forward. You know, this is what is directly in front of things, but we've got to get this passion, this magical power up to the surface so that you can continue going over here. And really, it's part of the momentum of the universe. The universe wants the best things for you, right? Spirit wants you to fulfill your nature, but we got stuck here in this. Now, maybe this literally is an institution that you're part of. But it's some sort of belief system that you're being enclosed by. Okay. by which you're being enclosed, I think is how I should phrase that. We're going to move to the path of the serpent now. And as I do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. Right? Hit the like button. Leave a comment for me. I love reading the comments. Okay. This is some of that Aries energy. This is kind of, it could be the enforcer of the rules. Right? This could be your really quelling any kind of rebellion that might take place, right? When the horse takes off like this, the best thing you can do is grab the horse and stop it in its tracks, right? You don't want the horse to carry you off. We've got to get a handle on this because this is the energy we need. It's your general energy. And this is the, in your life, when this magma bursts forth, are you going to just kind of hold the earth down and try to push it back down and not let it, bubble up? Or are you going to try to find a way, the appropriate vessel that can sail on that sea of magma, right? I know that's a pretty weird sight. But we've got to ride this wave. We don't have to try to suppress it and push it back down underneath the surface down here. We've got to find a way to grab the reins, and that's exactly what the Knight of Wands is doing, holding on to the reins, trusting this magma is coming, right? This surge of creative energy is coming. How are we going to get on board and utilize it, right? That's what you've got to figure out. Okay, that's the work. That's the work. Ten of Swords in the environment, in the relationships position. Maybe this is the way forward. Is by figuring out what those beliefs are that we feel, well, maybe that we don't feel anymore, right? How are we enclosing ourselves in this kind of crust of the earth, inside this cage? What are things that we've been convinced of that really, when we think about it, we don't believe that? That's not really how I feel, or what I want, or how I want to do it. Like this idea that the only work of value is the work that produces the product at the end. So I think that's, as we age, and we are all aging, okay? I hate to break the news to you. We're all getting older. And I think depending on what station of life you are, we have to always be ready to transcend what we think we know, what we think we believe, right? And that's what the Ten of Swords is all about. And this isn't about you breaking up with somebody. I mean, maybe it is. Sometimes Ten of Swords, especially in the position of the environment, yeah, you could be breaking up with someone. But like I said, this isn't a love reading. This isn't a career reading. This is a life reading. So maybe for some of you, this self-examination, this transcending of our own limited beliefs, beliefs in what we expect of ourselves, what the world is telling us, what our environment is telling us, friends, family, our employer, our society, culture. Whatever that is, yeah, it may involve a breakup with a lover. It may involve you considering looking for some sort of new employment, a new vocation, or a new direction in life, right? For some of you, it's going to be one or more or all of these things. But that's the 10. It's the keyword for this card is ruin, because this is a glass house that is coming down. Okay? And it's in the environment, so there is that component of how we are perceiving the environment. What is our place in the environment? And what do we need to do to improve our relationship, not only with ourselves, but with the environment in which we live? In some ways, we all are a product of our environment, right? That's why we need to shift the focus from just being a product. Everything is product, even when we're Seven of Pentacles. It's all about the product. Maybe the shift is to start looking at it as a process. Now, we've got the Lover's card, of course, at the end, not quite at the end, but in the position of the obstacle, which is interesting. This could be a difficulty that you have in really knowing your true self. Maybe we have been fixed in our beliefs for a while that we don't really know what we want, what we believe. Right? We hear things on the news, we watch things on YouTube, we have our friends, family, co-workers. We are constantly being told what to think, what to believe, what to feel, what to do, how to do it. And what good is, what bad is, what success is, what failure is. Maybe it would really require a huge paradigm shift for us to figure out, what do I really believe? You know? And I think this is the kind of crisis that we all experience at some point in our life. Maybe when you're transitioning from childhood to adulthood, from school to work, from work to retirement, from retirement to, old age. Maybe these are the major crises of life. And at each transitional period, we have to reassess who we are and what we want, and what we're committing to. See, the Lovers is all about commitment. That's why it's called the Lovers. If you feel that Ace of Cups about something, you got to commit to it. But you got to know what it is to commit to. You can't go get an annulment the very next day. You have to be very aware of what you're committing your life to. Now, this could be talking about a love relationship. It could be talking about a new life path. It could be a new quest, a new purpose, a new meaning of life, a new paradigm, a new way of looking at things, a revision of your beliefs, and you're committing to a new ideal, committing to a new value in life. Okay? And this is the difficulty. Knowing who or what that lover is. Okay. Now, 9 of Pentacles. The crowning glory of the reading today is the 9 of Pentacles. We're going from a 7 of Pentacles to a 9. And the 9, again, is not a product. This is a process. But this is a process that is intensely rewarding. And you will see the progress of the process. This is the visible sign of process. This is now approaching things in such a way where you feel and you can see the benefits of it. Maybe it results in a product, sure. Maybe we get to that 10. I think you are producing something, right? But you're understanding that it's not about the 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles is kind of just like the dirt that falls away from something. It's just the crust that falls off of the pie or whatever, It's just the outer shell of things. The 10 of Pentacles is kind of just like the hair and fingernails that we grow. It's just kind of, most of us cut them off, right? It's all about and you're alive when your fingernails are still growing, right? I don't want to get into the whole thing with corpses and their hair growing. It's not actually growing. I think that's a popular myth that the hair grows. But anyway, my family ran a mortuary for a long time. I don't think I've ever mentioned that. Anyway, it's in the process of doing what we do. It's in the process of living, right, of growing the things. The things that we're growing, they don't ultimately matter. What matters is the life, the process, the feeling of doing it. Right? The passion that you have doing it, knowing that this is right, that this is good, that this is your commitment, this is your holy grail experience. Yeah. And there is this component of feeling useful, but useful by whose standards, right? Do you see the value in what you're doing, even if it's not something you can sell? Right? It's nothing that nobody wants to buy from you. Who cares? We need that, and that's why this card is here, I think, to represent that. Look, there is going to be the visible sign of progress, but the real value has to come from you and the value that you find in what you're doing. We all need the money, of course, right? But there's a deeper energy here. Let's look at the mystery card now. Yeah. I kind of think it's going to be another Wheel of Fortune. That's my first impression. Because the Wheel of Fortune really is about fortune and fame, about good luck, about things going your way. And we all want that, right? We all want to feel productive and useful. We all want to feel valuable. This is some real Jupiter energy with that Wheel of Fortune. I'm kind of thinking a Wheel of Fortune here. But then now I just got an idea that it's going to be that Lover's card again. Because that is the difficulty. Maybe that's kind of what we need a confirmation of, that, hey, we are going to do that. We are going to find that commitment. But I think we have to understand what it is we want to commit to. Maybe another Ace of Cups. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments section below. Don't forget to hit the like button. I'm gonna go with the Lover's card here. That's my final answer, okay? Maybe I should we can all look at it together. Oh, it's upside down. It is the Lover's card. Look at that. That's nice. That's beautiful. Yeah, I mean, we got a repeat of the Lover's card, okay? And that was the difficulty. This is the biggest issue here. And there's a confirmation that, yeah, this is going to be tough. But it's necessary. It's a part of life. It's a transitional phase, right? Learning to transcend the commitments that we had previously, or the things that we felt we were supposed to commit to, the things that we once wanted, we once believed in. And now I think we're realizing it's time to get out of that. I don't feel that way anymore. I don't believe that anymore. I don't want the same things that I wanted in that other phase of life. So in some ways, we're finding a new lover, right? We're finding ourselves again. We're recommitting. We're finding who we are and what we see value in ourselves and outwardly. And these are your power cards, right? This is saying, without a doubt, that you can do this. And I think we are manifesting that Wheel of Fortune. And I think we understand that it's in the process of the wheel turning, right? Not in the riches that the wheel is going to be bringing you, but in the process of generating value to yourself, right? Even if it's not so much connected with the outer world, it's something that is fulfilling to you. It's valuable to you. If other people see value in it, well, that's a bonus, right? That's a bonus. We're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, Gemini, click on the link in the corner. That'll give you access to all of your extended readings, not just for Gemini, but for all signs. Crosswatch, check your other placements, sun, moon, rising. You might want to watch the Taurus reading because of that Hierophant. All right, because of that Hierophant. New readings for Gemini Tuesdays and Fridays, 6 a.m. Chicago time. Subscribe to the channel. Right, it's free. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.